Hello and welcome to Staffordshire. Now, if you've got a Tudor property, you're lucky. And what we do is we refurbish Tudor properties and we do it in a polyurethane beam. Now, our beams are not timber, they're polyurethane. Looks like a timber. It's not a timber, it's polyurethane. It won't rot, it won't discolour. Now, we'll get to the colour issue in a minute. So what I want to do is I'll take you up to an estate where we've been working on for many years. We're going to see what these properties look like. I'm fair to show you a property that's been freshly done. Doing that can be so deceiving. So on these properties, you can see what they look like after a good few years. Now there was an issue with the colour. Both manufacturers had the problem. There's two main manufacturers. Both of them had the problem. Now, it started off as both the same people were running the same business. Big argument after a couple of years, both went their own ways, hence two companies. Now, the colour issue, it's been repaired, they've sorted it. It's taken 10 years to get it right, but they've got it right now. It's not losing colour no more. So you may see properties where the colour is fading on these type of timbers. They've got over it. They've got around that problem. So now don't worry. At the end of the day, it's sorted. With all our properties, what we have done, I'm not going to lie to you, we've had to refurbish a lot of them. Because over the years, they didn't quite get it right. But now, they have. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you what they look like after a good few years. And what some issues are. Now, it is a really, really good product. Can't beat it. Comes to polyurethane. Won't hold moisture. It's not going to rot, and it's going to save a lot of money in the long run. So, the properties we see here, all of them are the same in respects of they're all on a frame. None of these are directly bolted to the wall. None of them. All of these properties are the same, all built upon a frame. We've all done these the same way. All the houses you see are what we've done. So, let's show you what we're talking about. Now, this first property that we're showing was done 4 years ago, hasn't required a refurbishment yet, but they've got the colour, they're getting better all the time. You can see the colour retention is holding longer. The next one, we normally do these with an ivory render board. An ivory render board is an aluminium composite render board. They come in different colours, but mainly we use ivory or white. Two sides to it, a gloss side and a matte side. The side you're about to see on this next property is gloss side out, not matte side out. The rosewood beam was done last year. So let's have a look at this one then. So excuse the driving. This one was done last year with a gloss side out. Actually looks quite good. Ivory again, gloss side out. The next property we're going to have a look at was done 7 years ago. It hasn't required refurbishment to date because it's not in direct sunlight. But this was done 7 years ago. Again, ivory. Looks like it could do the refurbishment. So before refurbishments on this estate, I have to do this year. What I've done is I've kept up to date with keeping all our properties refurbished. We do it, we know it's done. Now, here's some issues. This first property you're coming up to now is what a lot of these houses were starting to look like. Whereas, make it a bit bigger. There you go. A bit bigger if you can. I'll come around and show you that one in a minute, but you'll get the idea. Now, this property is done 6 years ago. Beams haven't gone, but it could do with a clean. That was done 6 years ago. Next one is done 4 years ago. It's a black and white. Now, people on this estate are really, really nice. So I'm sure they won't mind us showing you. This was done 4 years ago. Dowelled, black and white. Looks lovely. Has never needed to be touched. Looking great. Next property you're going to look at is one we done 6 years ago. Hasn't been refurbished. Still looking okay. Although it may need a refurbishment shortly. Again, the colour issue. It's when they've improved it each time they've gone along. It's just a way they've had to do it. They had more complaints than soft mick over this one, but they've got it sorted out. I believe they've sorted it. This one was done last year. Again, ivory, round board, rosewood beam. Looking good. Now the next property next door, if you look at the side of this property, this had a very serious damp issue on one side. Very serious. So what we've had to do is come in and actually turn around and remove a lot of the render from the wall to allow the wall to breathe. As it's all put on a frame now, framed away from the wall, it's created an air gap, keeping the wall dry. And it's a rosewood and ivory render board. It looks different because the customers can be done having this done in stages. So when I show you the other side of this property, you'll see how we've actually changed the design, because the biggest panels we get are 8x5 panel. So the aluminium panels don't come any larger than that. Or no, 10x5, tell me why, 10x5. So this here is the largest panel you get. So we've had to turn around and do it slightly different because of, if you look at the side of it, panels are larger than 5x10. We've had to create it slightly different ways. So when we do this side, then we'll actually turn around and repeat what we've done on the opposite side, bringing it all in. Some customers have it done this way. Cheer for them. This is that property where you can see what the issues with these properties are. You look at that bottom beam, a bit bigger. Yeah, a bit bigger for me. Right, so it gives you an idea. It's not good. But once they're done, they're done. Next property done 5 years ago, has not been refurbished. Again, this was the one which has been dowelled. Ivory vendable, again, on a frame. So, what we've got now is we're going to see some properties down one street, and some ones on the side. So this one we're coming up to now, this was done 4 years ago, no, 5 years ago this was done. This is one of them due for refurbishment this year. Again, they hadn't quite got the colour sorted out yet, but getting closer. The manufacturers are getting there. Now with the manufacturers, a lot of these problems you're seeing where they're flipped, it's not the fitters' faults. A lot of fitters are out there and they get a lot of stick over it. It's not their fault. They should be refurbishing them, but they don't always refurbish them. It's a shame, but what they do, you should do. Manufacturers do it, but it's been an issue. It's been an issue. We've kept on top of it because at the end of the day, we don't want to lose the business. We want to keep it going. So these next properties we're going to show you are over different times and period of time. Next one we're coming up to was actually done 8 years ago. This was done 8 years ago. Lovely people with you. 8 years ago. Ivory vendable. And it's got the rosewood beams. And after 8 years, still looking good. Next one you see, the customer haven't done the bits again, as I said, they have it done in bits some. So he just had the top little apex done above the roof. He just wanted it cleaned up and tidying it, which we did. Okay, next one we've got an anthracite grey. Now this anthracite grey was to match in with the windows as the customer wanted it. Again, nice customers. It's all nice up here. This one here is the anthracite grey. Now this was done and we included in the bottom panel. Again, all of this has been framed away from the wall. None of the panels sit upon the wall. The panel sitting upon the brick wall is not good. It's going to seal it properly in. Now the one next door, this was done 10 years ago. A 10-year-old one. We refurbished it 8 years ago. Now, if we're refurbishing it 8 years ago, our colours are holding. As well as the manufacturers getting better with their paints, we've got better with how we refurbish these. So we've now got the refurbishments down to pretty much an art. We can have these old in, they hold their colour for a long, long time. That one I just shown you, 8 years. That was refurbished 8 years ago. It's still holding its colour great. So in this next little road, this gives you an example of the time, over a period of time, what they look like. So in this one, this is where we did our colour issue done in this. So the first one, you can see was done 3 years ago. Yes, 3.5 years ago. One next door, we just over 4 years ago. Another nice customer. This property we done 7 years ago. We had to refurbish it totally last year because the beams had totally lost their colour. But it's refurbished and the refurbishment looking great. Now this product is the answer to your rotten beams. Timber beams in this country used to last quite a while. Right? It's climate change, it's the way it's changed. Everything from damp, wet and horrible, very, very hot. It's no good. All these properties are done in the same timbers. They're done in the softwood. This property again, done about 3 years ago. No refurbishment being required. Looking great. Now, next product I'm going to show you is not one of our products. We'd not do this. We use an aluminium composite render board. It's a solid aluminium composite render board. Solid. What the customer, someone's done here, not us. They put on a plastic PVC panel to cover the render, not an aluminium composite panel. As soon as the sun hits it, it's going to deform the panel. Never, ever, ever put a plastic panel up as a render board. It won't work. It will look awful. You'll have to have it all toned down. Do not do it. The next stage we've had to do, we've done nearly 10 years ago. We had to refurbish it 4 times because the paints were never right. We couldn't get it perfect. So we had to keep trying. This has now been refurbished 3 years ago. And it's starting to look good. It don't look bad at all. We refurbished that a couple of years ago now. And now it's holding fine, looking great. The next one was done 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Done in that lockdown. Still don't look bad. Now, let's go and have a look at what the elephant in the room is, which is colour issue. As I was saying, we've got a few houses on this estate we need to refurbish this year. At our expense, obviously. Not the customers, it's not the customer's fault. We give them a guarantee, and the manufacturers, all right, mate. Right. Well, I do know a few people up here, that's for sure. So the next one is the elephant in the room colour. So let me just say and show you. Trying to explain it's hard. When you actually see it, you understand what it is. So the first one you're going to see is done 4 years ago. Ivory render board, no doubt wanted, and a rosewood beam. We did have to come and do a slight refurbishment on the bottom beam, I believe, due to a bubble, which is very rare you get them, but they do happen. The next problem, this is the elephant in the room colour. This here was done 7 years ago. It's due for refurbishment this year. But as you can see, that was a rosewood beam. And it has flipped. Not what you want to be seeing. So with refurbishment, once we've refurbished it, 10 years, good, ready to go. The other thing is now, the new beams won't be doing that. They will be holding their colour. The manufacturer improved it no end, the colour. They've spent a lot of money, both manufacturers, being fair, to get the colour right. And I think they've done a good job. They've now got it licked. I bloody hope so. Otherwise, we will be back to refurbish more. So the refurbishments you're seeing, the ones which have been, this is the other one we've got due for refurbishment this year. As you can see, it's just starting to happen. That was done 6 years ago. You can see that they have been improving the colour. It's getting better. It's getting better. Not one manufacturer's got the issue. Both manufacturers had it, but both manufacturers seem to have got it cured. Seem to have got it resolved. Now, it's all right me showing you lots of the same ones, all the rest of it, but this is what we do. So, the next couple of properties I'm about to show you, the first one is in a chocolate brown beam. We did have to refurbish that 3 years ago. In refurbishing it, this one here, this is not a chocolate brown. This is an ivory board. This is the other one we need to refurbish this year. This has been up for 9 years. Ivory render board, rosewood beams, dowels, again all on a frame. And none of this is touching wall. So it's going to be cooler in summer. It's going to be warmer in winter. It's an insulator. It's a really good insulator. So that there, something that once it's refurbished will look like new. I will upload some new ones as I refurbish it so you can see how refurbishment goes. The next one was done in a European oak. Wasn't done in the urban. The customer wants the beams to go grey. It's only done last year. A couple of years it will go grey. But that was done in European oak. You've got an oak that might stand the weather, but not a softwood. Next one here. Done 7 years ago. Chocolate brown, doweled, white render board. Now the next three you see, one was done 3.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and the last one was done 2 years ago. All of these are the same in respect of a rosewood beam with an ivory render board. Again, all installed upon a frame. So, here we are. We've got 3, all looking great. After 3 or 4 years, still looking great. A lovely timber. Looking good. Now the next one is the longest one we've done. Well, not this first one. So the first one you can see was done 3 years ago and it was refurbished last year. It hadn't quite got the colour right yet, but they're getting there. This was done 3 years ago. Now the one next door we did 8 years ago. We refurbished it last year because the colour was fading. The next property, again, this is our longest one, 10 years old. A 10-year one that still looks great. No rot, nothing. May need a slight refurbishment. After 10 years, that's not bad. So, let us go and have a look at just a couple more, which will give you an idea of what our work looks like and what it will look like. So, this product is a really good product. You know, you've got a mock Tudor house, if you're lucky to have a mock Tudor house, then this is your option. It's a really, really good option. Especially when it's done correctly. You don't need a dowels. Dowels are not needed. is a glued silicone and bonded to it, then they have steel pins driven through them. They're not going to go anywhere. It's a light product. It's a light product, so it's not a heavy product. It's only to keep it on the wall. It's not to hold it on the wall as such. It's not heavy. But dowels are optional. You want dowels, you can have dowels. You don't want dowels, don't have dowels. It's your option. Now, I could do this all day, but we're just going to do a couple more just to give you an idea of the problem we had. This next one, taking it down because this is due refurbishment. And the reason it's due a refurbishment, it was installed 6 years ago and they haven't quite got the paint right yet. The issue with the paint has been a big thing with the product. Both products are basically identical from both manufacturers. It's the paint that's been the issue. The actual covering. But I think they've both got it legs. Until then, it means anything that's been installed between then and now that has flipped, it's been our responsibility to go and refurbish them. Get them look right. When we refurbish them, the refurbishment holds. It doesn't fail. Again, this was a rosewood beam. I didn't quite lit the colour clearly. And because of that, this is due for refurbishment this year. Again, at our expense. But I will upload one so you can see what the difference is when we do the refurbishment. As I said. Let me just say this last couple, just so it gives you an idea. This property we're coming to see now was done 8 years ago. Really nice people in this estate. This gentleman, lovely, and his wife. Now, this one we actually refurbished 2 years ago. Because after about 4 or 5 years, it did start to flip again. Again, they hadn't mastered that colour. Colour again, the issue. Now, these last two I'm about to show you is, that was done 3 years ago. The one next door to it, with the golden oak beams, that was done 8 years ago that was done. An ivory board and a golden oak beam. And obviously the customers had chartwell green windows installed. Lovely. But again, 8-year-old one, not new. So, just so I can finish off and show you. So, the beams. Well, I'll show you the beams in a minute, but when it comes to the render board, do not put plastics up the render board. It won't work. It will go terrible. What you need on it is an aluminium composite board. It's come in different colours, ivory and white. This here, the ivory side, 3 coloured. This here is a rosewood beam. So, frame goes up, render board goes on. We then turn around and seal this to the render board. So, gives a clean look. Different colours. So as a rule, if you have a black beam, as a rule you would have a white render board. Not ivory. But black would be white. And the side grey, again, that would turn around and be on a white board, not on ivory. The aesthetics. The boards, solid. It's a great insulator. 2 sides, remember, matte. And we have gloss. 99.9% of our customers will have a matte side, not gloss side. It can be a bit too shiny. So, I hope that helps you. And if you want to contact us, give us a call. All our installations we guarantee, and they all look great. And we maintain our installations. Don't hesitate. Give us a drop us a note in the comments. Share, like, subscribe. So share, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon.